Hey everyone, so this will be my first impressions, both good and bad, of the Top Fin Escape 5 gallon tank here from PetSmart. So this I bought for 50 bucks. It was normally 80, so it was on sale for about $30 off. For $80 is very expensive. 50 bucks is not too bad. Still a little bit expensive, but not too bad. But I do know the price of glass right now has gone up, so that's probably why the tanks are costing more. So first impression here is this tank looks really cool. I'm gonna back away for a second. It looks really cool from pretty much any angle for the most part. I'll get to that in a second here. Very nice looking tank. To me, it looks pretty elegant. See, the corners here are very nice and thin. Very nice thin, almost perfection level of silicone on them. And that's on every corner. Of course, you want to check to make sure yours look good, but it looks perfect on mine. I absolutely love that. And what I really like about this tank too is I'm gonna call it the stand on here, and it's just glass feet. And there are 4 of them, of course. It just adds to the very nice look of this elegant looking tank, I think. Very cool. Of course, you do not really see those when you're looking at the tank itself, but it is something that is there, and I think is very cool. A very nice touch. Then, of course, the main point of this tank is this extra escape pod, we'll call that, since they named the tank Escape, kind of like the fish's escape pod, so they can look out from the tank rather than just looking out from the main tank. I think that's really cool. But one thing I do have on mine, you guys let me know if yours is like this too, if you have one, is these bubbles here. First they were just air pockets, now they have turned into bubbles. I think that's due to the heat from my heater being on. That turned it into bubbles, but they were just packets of air. So that is a little bit weird. Nothing too bad. I don't think that's not a deal breaker or anything. Then there's also the bubbles all throughout the top. Let me know if you guys have one of these and yours is the same way. Then one more thing going off of the looks is the hose where you pump to get the water into the top tank here. From the side, or whichever way you put your hose facing, you can see the hose. I don't understand. I don't know. It just looks weird. It definitely looks weird. The normal tank does not have that. I tried putting it underneath this way, and it would not stay, so I had to do it that way, where it sort of stays. Again, to me, this is not a deal breaker, because my bed is right there. So, I mean, we're talking about 2 feet away. So, I'll be looking at the tank mostly from this angle. So, to me, that's not going to be anything bad. It's just a bit weird if you had this in like a normal spot where you'd be able to look at it from the side or front. You will see a hose. So, that's a bit weird. Again, if you guys have one of these, what did you do with your hose? And then let's talk about the light. I love this light. So it has this giant touch button. I'm gonna call it giant. It's probably about 2 times the size of most of them. Touch button right there. So push and hold to turn it off. Takes about maybe 2 seconds or so. And then just tap it to turn it on. They have something similar on the Top Fin Dazzle and Color Pops. Those are actual switches where you push and hold them to turn them on or off for about 3 seconds is what they say. To me, it took more like 5 seconds each time. 4 or 5 seconds. Found that to be. It sounds goofy, but I did not like the way those were, which is part of the reason why I took down those tanks. This is so much better. You just touch and hold, and turns it off. But the best part is you just touch it and it turns right on. You don't have to touch and hold it for seconds to turn on. Again, it's something that sounds super goofy, super stupid, but it is something that I did not like about those tanks, and I absolutely like about this tank. And then going off the light too, it has a whole bunch of different colors on it. And this is my favorite color. It's like a pink purple color with these colorful rocks. It looks really cool. Then you also have blue, which again makes the rocks look really cool. So I absolutely like this tank. How many times can I say absolutely in one video? I don't know. But I really like the tank's lights on here. They look very cool. Well, it doesn't always respond to your touch, but for the most part it does. And even the standard lighting looks very, very nice on it. Like, that's very, very cool. These are probably by far my favorite lights on any tank. They're also super nice and bright, as you guys can see. Another thing is, before I picked up this tank, looking at it online, I was concerned on how to feed your fish. For some reason, I was thinking they had like a cutout up on here you could drop food into and your fish would get it from the top here. But there's a feeder flap right here. So that is very nice and convenient. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't really be able to get food into the tank. Then going off of flaps on the back here, which I find really cool. Again, something they really thought about, is they hide your filter with another flap here. Going off of the filter, I do have some concerns about this filter. It does not seem very strong. There is an adjuster on it. It just did not seem to do anything for me when I adjusted it yesterday. So that is a bit weird. There's almost no current coming from it, which is, again, a bit concerning. This is a 5-gallon tank. I think it said, correct me if I'm wrong, I cannot remember what I said yesterday. It's hard to see. I believe it does 20 gallons per hour only or something like that. It's either 20 or 80. That's a big difference. But it's not strong whatsoever. So that's a bit concerning to me, is how strong the filter is. Of course, you can put in a different filter if you want to. It just will not be hidden like that one is. And then you can see it down there. So there's like very little water current coming out of it. So that is probably the most concerning point of this tank, is the filter. And then let's talk about the frame of this tank. So again, something that's very unique because of your secondary tank here is they have this frame that the secondary tank sits on. So if you don't want the light on here or the hood on here, you could take that off technically. Of course, your fish might jump. But you guys can see again, there's like no water current whatsoever. There's your filter. Let's see if we can get the focus in here. Very small water current right by it. Get over here, it's starting to form some, you guys can't really see that in the video, but it is starting to form some film on top, especially up front here. So that's going to be a little bit concerning, like I said. Back there is some current, but up front there is not. Another thing about this frame is that it gets in the way, same with the middle tank here. So doing a water change is going to be quite interesting on this tank. We'll have to see how that goes. And two, I'm sure I'm going to blind you all for a second here. There's the lights, the LEDs. I can't really... Well, there's a whole bunch of them. They're super bright. So I'm sure over time, we're going to get some algae. There's algae on my plants already. That's from other tanks. They've been in other tanks. That's not from this tank yet. I'm sure these seem to be pretty dang bright. So I'm sure they'll grow some algae. But my main point of showing you this frame is that it's going to be hard to do a water change on it. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to do a water change. So yeah, those are my initial impressions on this top fin. I keep wanting to say Engage. I don't even have that tank. Top fin Escape, 5-gallon tank here. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys especially if you guys already have one, you have one set up. And again, about those concerns that I had. Yeah, so let me know. And what do you guys have in your tank if you do have one? And do your fish actually use this part? Yeah. Alright guys, as always, I really do appreciate you watching. And Happy New Year's to you. That is today. And hope you guys have a good one and a good 2021. Hopefully it'll be better than 2020. Alright guys, goodbye.